What's going on, everybody? David here with another short and sweet Fantasy Grounds. Really, this isn't even a tutorial. But I'll tell you what this is about. This is about finding a group when you're using the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop. I can't tell you how many emails I get, how many YouTube comments I get, and how many comments in my live Twitch stream that ask, "Hey Dave, how do I find a group using Fantasy Grounds?" Well, I'm going to show you 5 different ways of how you find a group. And most of the time, you don't even need to have a license. Most of the time, all you're going to need is a demo version, because a lot of the people that are hosting games, whether it be Dungeons & Dragons 5e, whether it be Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, or the tons of other rule sets that Fantasy Grounds supports, they usually have full-blown licenses. So you don't even have to have a license, standard or ultimate, to get into a game. So let's show you the 5 ways of how you can get into a game in Fantasy Grounds. Alright everybody, so the first way to find a game in Fantasy Grounds is by using the forums. You'll have to sign up using your Fantasy Grounds username, but no problem, you get access right away. Now, go to the second section of the forums. It's called Game Organization. And this is where it's broken up into a couple of categories. There is D&D Adventures League, so if you're wanting to play 5e, you're wanting to get into some official gaming, go to the D&D Adventures League section. Inside of this forum, there's a lot of posts for games, either by the individual, and then there's also a couple of threads, as you can see here, game announcements. So just click on the game announcements and look for the different games. It's as simple as that. There are games all the time going on for D&D 5th edition, especially 5th edition, because it is like the most popular role-playing game now. Now there's official Pathfinder Society games. It's in the same Game Organization Index. Just click on that, and the same thing as 5e. You see all kinds of game announcement threads and also threads by individual. And especially seeing in the very, very near future that the new supported Pathfinder rule set's coming out, I can just imagine the influx of people that will probably now be playing Pathfinder, because, as we all know, Pathfinder, there's a lot of rules in it. But with Fantasy Grounds, with all of the conditions and all that other stuff, Fantasy Grounds is going to make it super easy and fast for you to play. So I can just imagine the influx of players getting into Pathfinder Society. Alright, so if you're not wanting to play official Pathfinder Society, if you're not wanting to play official Dungeons & Dragons Adventures League with all those constraints and stuff in those, public settings, then you can go ahead and go to the LFG Looking for Group thread. And in this thread, this is where everybody is looking for players. Players are looking for dungeon masters, and it's all rule sets. It just doesn't have to be 5e, and it just doesn't have to be Pathfinder. Because if you scroll down in this forum, you can see that, sure, here's a Savage Worlds sci-fi game. Here's also 5 players looking for a flexible DM. So not only are DMs looking for players as solo players, but full groups are looking for a DM, and also the groups are looking for players. So everybody's looking for everybody in this forum, which is really nice. Here's a Pathfinder group. Here's a new DM looking to do some practice games. Here's any old school Greyhawk interest. Need 1 player for a Sandbox Rage of Demons Princess of Apocalypse. So the list just goes on and on and on. And there are many, many pages in this thread. So check out the Fantasy Grounds forums, guys. There are lots of games going on. I'll put the link down in the comments section. And like I said, most of the time, you're not even going to need to have a standard or ultimate license, because these dungeon masters probably already have it. Okay, so the second way that you can find games in Fantasy Grounds is the game calendar. And the game calendar is accessible in the forums. You can't access it from the main page of the website. And when you click on that, it opens up a calendar just like it says. If you're a dungeon master and if you want to create campaigns and post them in here, upper left-hand corner, there's a Manage Campaigns button. But as you can see, these are all of the games for February 2017. Check it out. And it only holds about 4 games in the box, but on this Saturday right here, you can see there's 5 more games. Just click on it, and there you go. Curse of Strahd game, text-based homebrew game, To Sail Beyond the Sunset, and the list goes on and on. There are a ton of games, guys. You can even go to the next month. Over here on the left-hand side, click on the forward arrow. You can go to March. So the more often you check the calendar, the better odds of you signing up, finding a spot, and getting into a game. That's option number 2. All right, so the third way that you can find games on Fantasy Grounds is back on the forums, and it is with the FG Con and FG Days. Now, FG Con is exactly what it sounds like. It is a con for all of the users of Fantasy Grounds, and it usually goes on for 3 days, and the next FG Con is April 7th to April 9th. And inside of that forum, you'll be able to check out all of the different games that the Dungeon Masters are going to be running between the 7th and the 9th. And you'll also be able to find those same games on the game calendar that we already looked at. Now, FG Days, that is something that's a little few and far between, even less than FG Con, because the FG Days is usually done on one day, and it's usually between the cons. So, but it's still another option. Keep your eyes out on those forums, because Damned and those other guys that run it, they do a good job of getting everything set up ahead of time. And you can also check out the FG Con website, which I will put a link to that website down in the comments section below. All right, so the fourth way to find a game in Fantasy Grounds is by an awesome new tool, and it is the Community Fantasy Grounds Discord server. And it is absolutely free. You don't have to pay for it. There is a link here, which I will put in the comment section down below. And you join the server. It joins you automatically. And as you can see here on the right-hand side, there are 277 people online right now. Some are playing, some aren't. There's a lot of other channels that you can just chat in. I mean, look at this. Here's a Dungeons and Dragons channel. Look at here. A Looking for Group channel. So take advantage of the Discord server, because this thing is only a couple of weeks old, and it is so popular, and it has 277 people. And as Fantasy Grounds grows, there's just going to be more and more people in here. So finding a game is going to be super easy for you. So the fifth and final way I want to show you is not on the Fantasy Grounds website. It is on the adventure.log website, which is where a lot of the Dungeon Masters that run Adventures League and Pathfinder and other games, this is where they go to set up their games where people can go online and register. You're going to have to register your email for the site, which is not a problem. And then you just simply check out what games are available to play. Some of the DMs use Fantasy Grounds, some of the DMs use another virtual tabletop, so you'll just have to weed through the different games to see what you want to play. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Those are 5 easy ways that you can find a game to play in using the Fantasy Grounds virtual tabletop system. Now, I'll be leaving all of those links down in the comments section below, so please, if you like the video, thumbs it up, and if you don't, I'm going to throw my holy hand grenade at you. I will pull the pin, I promise. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you already subscribed to the YouTube channel, stay subscribed. And until next time, happy gaming and keep rolling those 20s.